I know. I feel like someone out there on the internet thought we were talking about pandemic and cut us off. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We got censored. Uh, you too. Yeah, you know what so I am a in my day job, I do a lot of work with media and storytelling and all of that. And I'm always really attuned to details. And so what I loved about the convention tonight and really convention over the last 3 days is how many details there were. So things that pop into mind, you got Elizabeth Warren with the blocks behind her that spell BLM, Black Lives Matter. On the other side, she had JOE when they zoomed out. And my understanding, she told CNN that that was her who did it with her former campaign manager, Roger Lau. So that stood out to me. I loved Nancy and Hillary in the white suffragette pantsuit outfit kind of combo. Um, I just love all of the imagery. I love the symbolism. I love over the last 3 days and especially today, just how much visually you see that ties it all together. You know, there's so many different faces across the country. There's so many different voices, especially when you think about LGBTQ people. Think about yesterday when we had LGBTQ faces across the country, and they weren't all one size, shape, color. They were all different kinds of people that fall under the LGBTQ umbrella. But when you watch that and you see these stories, there are ties that run through all of them. You hear people talking about how they've been impacted by COVID-19. You hear people talking about how they've been impacted by a lack of access to healthcare. You see the same threads throughout. And so for me, those details from the white suffragette outfits to, you know, the blocks behind Elizabeth Warren, it's all about this theme of tying everything back to our unity. That we really are, to borrow a line from Secretary Clinton, stronger together. That we really are one nation. We may have different lived experiences, we may come from different places, but we have a shared set of values. And so, in those details, that's what I found today. That's my highlight. It's just my little homage, my tiny homage to my girl Liz Warren, who crushed it tonight, by the way. Yeah, yeah. I'm hopeful. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for the progressive caucus in the Senate, led by Liz and Bernie and Ed Markey, and yeah, just let him run with it. Yeah, that's right. Fight for the people. Fight for the people. Yeah, 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 Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, I'm getting a note. I hope that you could hear Pissy. I'm getting a note that maybe your audio was not there, but I'll just share with you. I'll try. I can't encapsulate it quite as well as Pissy could, but uh, highlights from the day. Obviously, Barack Obama, fantastic speech all the way around. It is really something to hear an adult in the room and to hear someone reminding us of our better angels. And I thought Barack Obama was, of course, absolutely splendid. It's been fantastic to hear from both he and Michelle in the last couple of days. That's not the last time we'll hear from them, but feels really good to be reminded of what's possible with adults at the table. And the other highlight, to your point, was Kamala Harris and taking a shot at the birthers and calling out that she had been born in a hospital in Oakland. And I do feel like, as we round things out here, that encapsulates the theme of tonight. As we think about what DNC Day 3 felt like, it was some parts inspirational and lifting us up and challenging us to live up to our values. And at the same point, it was also a frontal assault on the kind of authoritarianism and fascism that we're witnessing unfold right here in the United States of America. I felt like the two balance each other really well. I felt like I had moments that were really emotional. I was tearing up during the gun violence piece. And then, of course, I was soaring during other portions when I'm listening to young people talk about their fight against climate change. I think tonight was really well done. I was talking to some friends via text earlier, and what I said was, I feel like we leveled up on day 3. We really took a bump up in just the quality of the content. I thought, the quality of the messaging was really on point. I'm really excited about tomorrow. I know someone was earlier talking about Mayor Pete. And we didn't get a chance to talk about Mayor Pete tonight, although I know Mayor Pete will be around tomorrow. We'll have lots to say about him tomorrow. First LGBTQ American to win a caucus, hugely important to our community. So overall, my recap for DNC Day 3 is, if I had to boil it down to a word, it would be inspiration. I feel totally inspired by what I saw tonight. I feel inspired by the direction that I think our country can go. I cannot wait to see what's possible when we set a table that allows people from diverse backgrounds with different lived experiences to sit at it. And I think we're right on the edge of that. I don't know about you. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm brought back to the aftermath of the shooting at Pulse and what I heard from Vice President Biden and President Barack Obama at the time. They came to visit us after the shooting, and they didn't do it with cameras. They didn't do it with, news vans. It was very quiet. They arrived privately. We had a private meeting. They said a few words, and then they met one at a time with each family that was there, with each survivor that was there. And they talked about the state of our country. And I remember Barack Obama was sad. He was heartbroken that he hadn't been able to do more in the fight against gun violence while he was president of the United States. And I remember him consoling me and telling me that we would get through it together, that although the days were dark right now, that they would get just a little bit brighter and that would become easier as we did that work together. And then we moved from President Obama to Vice President Biden. And what struck me about Vice President Biden was that he talked about his son and he talked about what it felt like to lose someone that was so close to him. And I felt a real deep connection. It wasn't like I felt like he was there as Vice President Biden. It wasn't like I felt like he was there representing the White House. There was a man standing before me that was Joe, someone who had felt the pain of loss to another degree that I couldn't even imagine. Even as I stood there feeling intense grief, I couldn't even begin to imagine the level of loss that he had felt. And he was talking about losing his son. And he was talking about the way that he leaned on his community to pull through it. And I remember him hugging me and telling me that he would never, ever give up the fight. I think what we're going to hear from Vice President Biden when he accepts the nomination is that fight continued. I think he's going to talk about what it has meant to lose people that mean so much to him. I think he's going to talk about what it has meant to watch the country spiral out of control. I think he's going to tap into not the Vice President Biden thing or calling to us from the White House of 2008. I think he's going to talk to us as Joe, to everyday Americans who are struggling in the face of authoritarianism and fascism. And I think it's going to resonate for people. I think people are desperate for something authentic and genuine. I think people are desperate to turn the page on the hatred and division that we felt for the last 4 years. And I think he's going to tap into that. I think he's going to remind us that at the end of the day, he's just Joe. We're just Americans. And the only way we get through this is together. Absolutely. Thank you. I'll come back anytime. I'll even put on the Liberty Green suit for you. I love it. Totally fine. Totally fine. Amazon.com. No, no. Mint is all the rage.